I'm Matt with eTrailer. If you have a 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander and you're just trying to look for a rack to get you from point A to point B with your bikes, then the Swagman XTC2 tilt bike rack is going to be a great option for you. Now, since this has it in the name, it says tilt, this actually does have the tilt feature. And that's going to be thanks to that having such a lighter weight capacity of 35 pounds per bike, holding up to two of them. But to really show you that tilt, I'll do it real quick. To do that, you're just going to come to this pin that's on the bottom. You have this safety latch on it. I'll just pull that, move it around, and pull this pin out. That's going to give me the ability to just pull this towards me, giving me plenty of room to open up my hatch. Now, the reason why you might want to open up your hatch is if you got any groceries that you need to put them inside your vehicle or even take them out. Or if you want to get ready for your ride, you can come back here, grab your helmet, take a seat, tie your shoes, get ready to go out. And then once you're done, you stand up and close this back up. And to put it back into that seated position, all I have to do is push until it sits a level up here. I can just put this pin back in. Now for the fit we're having with our bike right now, it's looking pretty good. We're not coming too close to our vehicle. Let me just kind of jostle this around first. Sometimes you might have to move that rack some to get this pin through. It's back secured. Now if I rattle the bike some, it'll get a little bit close to our vehicle, but we have plenty of clearance up here by the handlebar. If anything, I'd be more worried about your pedals, because if you have a standard bike or a mountain bike, you're probably going to have some larger pedals, and that could make contact with your vehicle. I'd recommend just trying to situate this in front of your license plate, so if it did make contact with anything, it'd be nothing too important. But to take a closer look at this rack, I'm going to take it off, and where I like to start is with these straps. We're going to have one per tire. They're pretty easy to use. There's just going to be this rubber strap that grabs onto this nib, and tucking them away is nice because they won't get in the way of your tire. We'll do the same thing on the front side. Pulling on that, letting it release, and tucking it away. And what I like for the design of these hooks is that they come all the way off. The downside of these hooks is, since I'm making frame contact, I don't recommend them for anything like carbon frame bikes, alternative, or any bikes with a really nice paint job. With that out of my way, I can do this in two ways. I could put down this mass, or I could just lift it over the mass. I find it, in most cases, just to lift it over the mass to be the easier option, just so I'm not trying to hold on to that while not dropping my bike. And with it off, I can take it out for a ride. Now, there's a few things I do like about the design of this carrier, and the first is that these cradles at the bottom actually move forward and back on those posts. That's great for adjusting for different wheelbases. All you have to do is loosen up this knob some. Once it's loosened up, you slide it forward and back some. And when you're done, just tighten it back down. I like to secure everything when I don't have a bike on here, just so it's not dangling around as I drive. Also important to put this hook back up, because you don't want to lose that, because that's what's going to hold your bike down. And when you're driving around with no bikes on here, I recommend putting that mast down just so it's not blocking anything on your vehicle. The way we're going to do that is just by pulling on this pin. It's going to have a notch in it to let it come out fully. You might just rotate it a bit. And then that's going to allow this to pivot down. And you're just going to put this pin through just so it doesn't bounce up and really cause you some weird dry moments when you're driving. Now with that down, we can get a few measurements just on how this is going to sit on the back of our car. So the first measurement I'm going to get is going to be the total distance it sticks out. That's going to be 18.5 inches, which honestly is really compact. Even if you are in those tight spots like a parking spot, garage, you should be fine, but still keep an eye on it. As for the ground clearance, if I go to the furthest point out, That's going to be 18 inches. So even if you do load this up with a few bikes, you should be good. You shouldn't make any ground contact. Now, how it's going to interact on the back of our vehicle is going to be really nice, actually, because we're not going to block a thing. We don't have to worry about blocking license plates, backup camera, taillights, or back window. Now, you're probably going to pick this up in your backup camera, but it won't prevent you from using this. In all honesty, it's probably better that you can see it, just so you don't make contact with anything when you're backing up with this carrier. Now, this carrier is going to have another stow position, and this position is actually designed for when you're storing it in your garage. So we're going to put that mast back up, and instead, this time we're going to pull these additional 2 pins. Might have to rotate it a little bit just to release it. With that released, we're just going to push both of these up and just make sure we get those pins back in here. And the reason why this is great for storing it in your garage is this is going to allow it to leave a smaller footprint. Now, this really isn't recommended to drive around like this, just because it's really not giving you any additional benefits. If anything, it's blocking more things on your vehicle like this. And as for how this is going to install, we're going to have a 1.25 inch shank, and it's going to have a 2-inch sleeve adapter on it. That's going to allow it to work with a 2-inch receiver like we have today, or even an 1.25 inch receiver as well. And then we're going to have an anti-rattle bolt that goes through and connects to this safety clip. That's just going to prevent it from rattling around as you drive, giving it a better fit on your vehicle overall. Now, in my opinion, I think this is a great rack if you're looking for anything that's just going to be something to get your bikes from point A to point B, and you still want that hatch access. Now, another great carrier I'd recommend checking out is going to be the Hollywood Racks Destination one, and there's one that can carry up to 4 bikes, and that's also going to be pretty compact. And what I like about it is I feel like it does a little bit better of a job securing your bikes down. But the downside to that is it doesn't have a tilt-away feature like this. So if you really need access to your hatch, then this is going to be the way to go. But let's just look at the Swagman XTC2 Tilt Bike Rack on the back of our 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action. This simulates turning corners or evasively maneuvering. Once we get to the full speed bumps, we'll see the up and down action. This will be just like driving in and out of a parking lot, parking garage, or driveway. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement.